Welcome to the Daily Transfer Show. I'm your host Miles. I'm here as ever with our chief correspondent Peter Storm.
Oh, as ever, but we've only got like what two more shows.
Penultimate day. We have got loads of shows tomorrow. To be fair, not two more shows. We're going to have regular shows throughout deadline day tomorrow, but this is our only show today. We're going
it's a shame. I've enjoyed it.
It's been a great month. Thanks everyone for joining us on Facebook and YouTube, obviously. Let's kick off with Chelsea's striker search, which is continuing. It's dragging on and on and on and on.
Bit like this show.
A bit like this show. Our Chelsea correspondent Nizar Kinsella understands that they remain hopeful that they can sign Roma striker Edin Dzeko, but it doesn't seem as nailed on as it did.
It's not looking good.
A few days ago, does it?
No, it's not looking good for them. Emerson, deal agreed for Emerson.
17.5 million.
Yeah. And a buyout. Have they got a buyout on this contract? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure about that one.
Anyway, Emerson Dunn, left back, cover for Marcus Alonso.
Yeah.
Not really a signing to get you out of your seat if you're a Chelsea fan, let's be honest. But
it's
the striker situation is not really resolving itself. So it looks like they're walking down two different paths. It looks like the Dzeko path and the Olivier Giroud path, perhaps.
Perhaps, yeah.
And they're going to need one of them to cover Alvaro Morata before the window closes tomorrow night.
Llorente is another one. Spurs striker.
Llorente, who Antonio Conte, of course, has worked with before. Yeah. And he actually pied off Chelsea to go to Spurs in the first place.
It's a deadline day move, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He could have two deadline day moves in a row then, I guess.
Yeah, he could have, yeah.
It hasn't worked out from at Spurs, has it?
No, he's not, well...
It would be a funny...
I don't think it'd work at Chelsea either, because I don't think he's good enough now anymore for that level of a club. Perfect for the like of a Swansea. Same with Wilfred Boney, you learn how to be an effective #1 striker at a Swansea, and then you move up to a bigger club, and it just doesn't work.
I think a lot of people thought that was going to happen, but it would be strange to me if Spurs sold him because they haven't got a whole lot of options if Kane gets injured.
And Kane, he gets ankle injuries here and there as well. He kind of misses 3 or 4 games every couple of months, and if those games come, what if he gets injured just before?
Yeah, I mean
Juventus in the Champions League, for example, they're in a bit of bother, aren't they?
Yeah. Giroud, obviously, as we mentioned, he seems a pretty viable alternative. A lot of Arsenal fans aren't massively happy that they're going to sell him.
I know, but so Arsenal complain, right? So this fella, right, Giroud, Arsenal fans like Giroud for some reason.
Yeah,
because he's one player that actually likes.
He does come off the bench and scores.
He's one player that actually likes playing for Arsenal, so maybe that's why they like him. But my point with Giroud is, right, so Arsenal have undergone like a really fallow period in the league and in the Champions League, and all throughout that time, Giroud's been a consistent presence for the team. He's never been good enough for Arsenal's ambitions. Never. Is he good enough as good as an Henry or a Van Persie?
No.
Absolutely no way. And now all the fans are like, oh, how can we sell our hero Giroud to Chelsea? It's like, get real, he was never good enough.
Yeah. You're
going to get some half-decent money for him. He's about 31 anyway. And do you honestly think Giroud's good enough to improve Chelsea? No. It's a total desperation move from them just to get some cover in. Arsenal fans, they should be laughing all the way to the bank to finally be rid of Giroud.
It's funny because Arsenal fans are getting annoyed about this, but it's
strip the emotion out of it. He's not a good player.
But it could be the key to their Aubameyang deal because essentially... Yes. Dortmund need a replacement, Chelsea need a striker, and Arsenal want to sign Aubameyang.
It's a transfer
triangle, essentially. So you've got Giroud. Wait, so Aubameyang's coming to Arsenal, and then Batshuayi of Chelsea, who they clearly don't want. Conte doesn't.
He's going to go to Dortmund.
To Dortmund, and then Giroud is going to go to
Chelsea.
Yeah.
So it could all fall apart. It's a bit like
fall completely apart. Yeah.
A bit like the final scene in Reservoir Dogs at the minute.
It is where they all just shoot themselves.
Don't spoil it.
Spoiler alert! It is 25 years old, so if I spoil that for you, I'm really sorry.
Maybe could we do one of those little? Could we do a little graphic on that? So it's like Wenger,
Aubameyang.
Yeah, can we make one?
After the show, maybe we'll come back to that. We'll put a pin in that. Right, let's. Before we move on, just let us know in the comments section if you're watching on Facebook who you think Chelsea should sign, if they should prioritise Giroud, Llorente, or someone else completely. Aubameyang.
Crucial for me that Chelsea get a striker.
Oh yeah,
and Dzeko over Giroud for me because he's far better player. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Dzeko doesn't look like it's going to happen. No. Something huge is going to have to happen in the next couple of days for that to change.
Across London, Tottenham, it looked like they have sealed the signing of PSG winger Lucas Moura.
Yeah, great deal, so and we spoke, the first show that we did here, we were speaking about, Man United are going to sign Lucas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember way back when. Yeah,
before Alexis Sanchez, became viable.
Before Aubameyang was anywhere near.
Feels like a million years ago.
It does. But essentially it looks like they've wrapped it up, £25 million.
Yeah.
You used to reckon it's a good deal.
I think it's a good deal, yeah. I rate him, yeah. And he's a player who just needs some regular football. Can play in the Champions League, crucially, because he hasn't played for PSG in the Champions League. Yeah. And he's short of a bit of regular football. Is he as good as what PSG have there already? you're talking about people like Neymar and Draxler, who I like.
No.
Probably not. No. Mbappe. But, you know, I do think that there's a player in there. He's at a good age. And 25 mil in this market is a steal for any player. You know, they're looking at 17 million for Troy Deeney.
Is that real? I hadn't seen that. Christ, what is this transfer window coming to?
But I think now they've got that was for West Brom to take him, but now they've got Sturridge on loan. They might not need a Troy Deeney.
Yeah.
However, Lucas will give them great options going forward.
Yeah.
I know Son Heung-min has been playing really well for them. He'll occupy the left. Dele Alli hasn't been so hot this season.
Not as good as last season.
Not as good as last season. And I do think that maybe to expand the attack from the right-hand side, I do think that it's a good signing because Ali and Ericsson, even if they're named in the attack, they do like to occupy the central space.
Yeah.
So when they do play with a sort of a right-sided player, it's like a Moussa Sissoko type character. But I do think that a natural winger would be much better for him. I think Lucas would be a good signing. He'll get in down the byline, get a lot of balls into the box for Harry Kane.
Yeah, it'll come at a very telling time for Tottenham because essentially they have a really crucial 2 weeks coming up. So I was looking at their fixtures and they have Man United tomorrow night, then Liverpool at the weekend, then Newport County in an FA Cup replay.
Which
midweek.
they could really do without that.
Yeah, they completely bottled that, didn't they? 1-1 draw the weekend against them. And then they face Arsenal the weekend after that. And then, in the midweek, Juventus. So everything, a lot of their top four hopes.
Next 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, if they blow this next 2 weeks, essentially, then that's their top four hopes done. That's them out of the Champions League.
Need to stay in contention. But Spurs, they're one of the best teams in England for me. Outside Man City, I think they're the best team in England. But they've struggled really for consistency this season.
This 2 week period will tell if they are going to be up there or nowhere, essentially.
Yeah. I like Spurs, and like we keep saying, you know, they need to keep it all together. They need to keep everything on track for trophies, for ambition, just to show to their emerging talents and their world class players in the likes of Harry Kane that this is the place where you can satisfy your ambitions.
Yeah, we've talked a bit about Real Madrid and their 300 million war chest, so to speak, in the summer, and that will be looming large over the likes of Harry Kane.
It's a word you only hear in football.
I love the word war chest. It's only a sky high amount for like Real Madrid, Chelsea, Man United. You
don't hear it at Christmas, you know. Me and my wife, we've got a £200 war chest.
Maybe you should. Maybe you should. Alright, let's move quickly on again to one-way Liverpool forward Daniel Sturridge, who has joined West Brom on loan.
No need for a war chest at West Brom because they've got him on loan.
A wage war chest, I guess, because he earns 120k a week.
Yeah, he's on good money at Liverpool.
Will propel him into the top tier for West Brom players, I imagine.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah.
I'm quite envious because they were linked with Newcastle for a brief. Well, he was linked with Newcastle for a brief 2 hours yesterday, and I thought we're going to get him. We're going to get a striker that's going to come in, do a job, and then it was.
You do like a striker at Newcastle.
I'd take anyone at this point. You know, we're left with Hosselu up front, who he can do a job, but that job isn't scoring goals.
He's a trier, isn't he?
Yeah, he runs around a lot, but Sturridge, I reckon, he's going to come in, be really.
Sturridge is classy. He's a really classy player.
I think it's going to be great.
At the start, this shows what I know about football because West Brom are, patently awful. They've sacked their manager. But at the end of the transfer window, I said, look at their business. It's unbelievable. They brought in Burke from Leipzig. They brought in Krychowiak from PSG. They brought in Gibbs to solve that left back problem. Higazi has done really well. They held on to Johnny Evans. I thought, here we go. They looked really, really strong for me in the summer. Yeah. And maybe they were probably short of somebody to relieve the burden off Rondon. But I do think that Sturridge can play up there with Rondon. I think he'd be a nice signing for them and get them out of trouble. Yeah,
they've looked better in the last few games. Obviously, they knocked Liverpool out of the FA Cup at the weekend. And I think Krychowiak, he made a
despite the good performance of Liverpool's new signing, VAR. He tried his best for them on the day.
But Krychowiak made a little dig, well, not a dig, a little.
But I thought Liverpool won the cup final against Man City just a couple of weeks before that. That's where their fans talk.
Yeah, it's been a bleak week since then, hasn't it?
It has. But they need to get back on track, big time. But they've lost Coutinho and lost Sturridge, so they've lost options up front. Haven't replaced any of them. Lallana's injured again. It's going to be a long, hard season for Bobby Firmino from now until the end.
They've got a match obviously against Huddersfield Town tonight.
Yeah,
Klopp's mate Wagner. Klopp's mate Wagner.
Yeah,
managing Huddersfield.
He knows all about his methods. He replicates them to some extent. Huddersfield, very inconsistent team this season.
But they beat Man United at home.
I know. I was just going to say that on their day, they are an effective side.
Yeah. So. You were at the Huddersfield game when they played Spurs tore them apart, weren't you?
Oh yeah.
And you reckon it could turn out like that?
I think Liverpool would batter them tonight.
Yeah.
With, sorry, Dave.
Salah and Co. Our producer's a Huddersfield fan. He isn't too optimistic about it either. Over at Watford, they've signed Barcelona's Gerard Deulofeu on loan, I believe.
Yeah.
He rejoined Barcelona in the summer, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
It hasn't quite worked out the way he would have wanted it to.
No, and then Coutinho coming in has probably pushed him further down the
pecking order.
You know, the thing is with footballers, I mean, I would love to be a sub at Barcelona.
Just watching
that's
Messi.
my ambition.
You just watch Messi and Suarez play.
You know, if Valverde turns to me, you know, I'm on 70, 80 grand a week, and he turns to me and goes, "Do you want to go on?" And I'd be, "Nah, I'm fine."
Doing a little nutmeg on Messi.
I can't understand. You know, people leaving Barcelona and search for first team football. Just close your mouth, you know. A game of five-a-side and a massage 5 mornings a week, and then you get to watch a match in the Camp Nou at the weekend.
You just know ambition, Pete. You know ambition. That's what it is.
Ambition, surely. Anyway, Deulofeu hasn't worked out for him at Barcelona.
9 minutes since the end of November.
Yeah, but you know what? He's not at the Barcelona level, but
he's got Premier League experience.
Yeah, he's a really good player.
Played at Everton for a couple of years.
Yeah, I do think he needs very specific instructions. I think the best football he's played in the Premier League has been under Roberto Martinez. Martinez loved him, but you know he had to drill him really well in what he wanted because when he's left to his own devices, I think he can make some rash decisions with the ball at his feet. But for a Watford, I think he'll be a good signing, and they've got really good attacking potential.
Richarlison, he's a great forward. Obviously, Andre Gray as well. Troy Deeney, if he doesn't leave for 17 million.
And they've got obviously this their new manager in there as well, Gracia. But you know,
what do you see? Where do you see Watford finishing this season? Is it a coin toss at this point? Depends on the new manager.
I think they'll stay up. I think they've got enough quality to stay up and give Sir Elton John, get some happiness for the end of the season.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I'm going to read out some user comments now. Thanks to those of you on Facebook who've got in touch with us throughout the show. Jackson's asking if Luiz is part of the Giroud deal. So we haven't mentioned it, but there were some rumours in the UK papers this morning that David Luiz is wanted by Arsenal. Yeah,
it would be a great signing. Koscielny injured again. Arsenal needed some centre-back cover. Haven't heard that this is actually part of the deal, but it could be done as a separate deal, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Luiz has got no future. Lucha.
But the Premier League
He's got no future at Chelsea.
The Premier League teams love swap deals at the moment, don't
they? They do, yeah. And you know what's changed now? They're selling to each other.
Before it was like, you're not having my player.
Yeah,
it's more of a sort of US mentality now, where they swap players all the time in the different leagues.
Yeah.
Baseball and everything. Tommy said here, Kane to Madrid.
Someday.
Not this day.
Maybe not.
Not this winter.
Maybe not this winter.
Real Madrid aren't spending, are they? They've just accepted.
Yeah, there's nothing happening in winter. But the summer, there's definitely going to be a huge overhaul in the summer. I think Kane will be persuaded to stay at Spurs. New contract, new stadium coming crucially next season. If they can stay in the Champions League, if he can be, the guy at this new stadium. I think maybe that will be playing on his mind. But someday, when he's 27, 28, if he looks around and figures, wow, I've actually won nothing here, then he might go, right, let's do a bail, head to Real Madrid, win a few Champions Leagues.
Yeah. Edin is asking a question which I've been asking all window, which is why aren't Chelsea going for Mahrez?
Why isn't anyone going for Mahrez?
I know, he's been wanting to leave Leicester for 2 summers now.
Yeah, but look at Leicester now. I mean, if the way Leicester are playing at the minute, Claude Puel has done so well with them, and they seem to be, kind of. I mean, their potential was to be league champions a couple of seasons ago, but I think their potential now is to maybe sort of upset the top 6.
To be that Everton team, essentially.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And I think Puel will keep them on that level. They've got, for me, a very progressive recruitment strategy. The players, they don't waste a lot of players that they buy. They've overhauled the back line completely now. And I think that, Mahrez might be persuaded to not see out his days there, but give it another shot. But I like Leicester. I've always liked watching Leicester. They're a really good team, and their attacking potential is coming to the fore.
I think it's safe to say Mahrez isn't going anywhere this.
Not January,
window,
unless he bucks his own flight to Barcelona, didn't he? And he stood outside the Camp Nou in the summer transfer window.
We'll see. He was spotted at Arsenal Chelsea the other day, wasn't he? And
that's
then
right.
Puel claimed he was scouting, which seemed like a bit of a baffling reason for him being there, considering they don't play each other for another month or 2, I think. So.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens there. One more question from Morgan. He says, what's the latest with the supposed Icardi to Madrid deal? I highly doubt it, but is there any traction to the story?
No traction, certainly not for January, and I think Real Madrid will be looking into a higher class of striker.
Yeah, Icardi to Madrid has sort of been doing the rounds every few months, hasn't it? It's never really had too much weight behind it.
No, not our Real Madrid correspondent is Alberto Pinheiro, and anytime it's been put to him, it gets knocked down. He's not, as far as we know, at goal, and as far as Alberto knows, Icardi's not a player that Real Madrid are looking for.
There you go, Morgan. All right, we're going to cut.
Cue Real Madrid signing Icardi.
God, we'll be looking bad tomorrow, won't we? All right, we'll be back again tomorrow. As you say, we've got a special series of shows essentially tomorrow. We're going to be running throughout the day, so please do join us for them. Until then, see you later.